Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. If you're wondering why I am barefaced, it's because I was actually going to sit down to film a makeup tutorial, and I always do my brows off camera since they take a little longer, and then I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to film my brow routine. For those who are not aware, I do not get my brows waxed or plucked or threaded. I used to get them waxed, and then sort of reading into some of the restrictions I have religiously, I discovered that, you know, waxing your brows and things like that is not really permitted. So I no longer wax or do anything to my brows. Everything that is usually on my brows is makeup, something that can be removed, but I don't actually remove the hair from my brows. So I thought if anybody is in the same situation like I am, maybe not necessarily from a religious standpoint, maybe just a personal preference that you have, or maybe you haven't been able to get to your wax lady or your thread lady to do your brows, then I wanted to sort of give you guys a video of how you can snatch your brows even when they are either between appointments or you just don't wax or pluck your brows like I do. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually take my two favorite eyebrow brushes. This is the Sigma E65 brush, and this is my MAC Studio Fix. Studio Fix even have brushes? This is just my This is my MAC 266 brush. I don't know why I can't say that today, but they're both pretty much angle brushes. That's what they look like there. And I use these for different purposes. Basically, the Sigma one is thicker and the MAC one is thinner. So I am first going to start out using my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. I used to really love this, I still do, but I'm currently like, once I find like a brow routine that works for me, I usually don't steer away from it until I get bored. So I'm not using the pencil side today. For the last maybe month or so, I've been using just the bristle side here, and what I do is basically I brush all the hairs up. I'm then going to take my current favorite brow product to fill in my brows, and this is the MAC Fluid Line Brow Gel Cream in Deep Dark Brunette. I'm going to dip some product on my MAC brush, and I'm not like slapping it in there, I'm just sort of tapping it in the product, making sure that the whole brush has the product on it. And I'm going to start, maybe I should get closer. I'm going to start from the front, and I'm going to sort of draw that line following the shape of my brow. I'm now going to dip some more product on my brush, and I'm going to start from the middle. I would not start from the front. I really hate those very sharp lines in the front of a brow. So whenever you go in with your brush with your product, that's when your brush obviously has the most product on it. So you want to start in the middle where most of the product would be on a brow. So I'm going to start in this middle area here, and I'm just going to apply the product in the same direction that I brush my brows, and I'm just following that line, that shape of that line on the bottom, and filling in the brow. If the top looks a little iffy, we'll get to that, but right now I'm more concerned with just filling in the brow from the bottom up. By this time, your brow should have a little less product, so this is a good time to work on the front where you want it to be a little more natural, not a like super ombre, but you obviously want it to look a little more on the natural side. And so I'm more so taking that product that's on this line here and I'm pulling it up. Hopefully my camera is picking it up, but the front is way thinner, way more sheer than the middle. I'm now dipping into that product again, just did a few taps, and I'm starting from the middle and I'm sort of shaping out the top of my brow. Hopefully you'll be able to see that there are hairs that are not part of the brow on the bottom. There's hair on the top. I do get thicker brows just naturally. I do like a thick brow, however, I like my brows to be shaped nicely. So don't feel obligated just because you don't get your brows waxed or plucked or anything like that, that you're obligated to include all the hairs that you don't want a part of your brow into your brow to hide them. I'll be concealing these and we'll get into that in a minute. I'm now going in with my current favorite brow concealer, and this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer. I use the shade 4.5. I'm going in with my Sigma brush. This is the E65 again. Yep, E65. And I am sort of wiping this on the product, making sure both sides have the product on it. Don't want excess, but I definitely want both sides to be covered. And I am starting, I'm not going to start right at the tip. I'm going to start beyond the tip of the brow, and I'm following that first line that I put down with my brow gel to conceal. Obviously any hairs under that brow, any hairs under that line, you want to be concealed. If you are going in with a eye look that's a little more highlighted, I would recommend a concealer that's maybe a shade and a half or maybe 2 shades lighter than your own complexion, so that way it can serve as somewhat of a primer as well for your eye if you want to. And so I just put that line there, and I'm using the other side of that brush to put the product down and really smear out. Once you get that line, you want to just smooth out that area. I'm gonna dip my brush back into the product, and that is the Anastasia concealer, and I'm going to do the same for the top, and I'm starting from the middle this time. Some people don't really like to bring their concealer all the way to the front if they conceal the top of their brows. I do, I just don't like a ton of product to be there. The top can be a little tricky because you don't want concealer to get in the brow, so I really press this down hard and glide it along the contour of my brow to make sure I don't slip and then mess up the brow. So once a lot of that product has been removed because it's on this area, I go in with the front with a more sheer coverage. And I take my time, making sure it's not in the brow. And then I just wipe it like that. If you have this going on right here, where it looks like the product is still new, definitely blend that out. I would say blend it out as much as you can with a brush before a beauty blender. As much as I love the beauty blender, sometimes it makes the brow a little more messy because it's not really as precise. Like the shape of a beauty blender is more precise for maybe like the corner of your eye. It doesn't really have the contours, in my opinion, that are suitable for blending out a brow. I'm gonna go back in with my Benefit spoolie, and you can use any spoolie really, And I am now going to just brush this in the same direction because I want it to be a little more gradient. I'm taking whatever product is left on my brow product brush, the MAC brush I was using, just to fill it out. And lastly, I am taking my tinted brow gel. This is by Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is in the shade Chocolate. Took me a long time to really understand this product the way I wanted to use it, but now I'm like absolutely in love. This I do start from the beginning, and I press down relatively hard, and I brush the brow hairs back. This definitely assists in keeping the brows in place throughout the day. And also, if you are enhancing the shape of your brows, like if your brows are really thin and you are enhancing the shape of your brows, this kind of makes everything blend in to look together. Like, you ever see brows on somebody and you can tell that the way they shape their brows is not the natural shape of their brows because their hairs are sticking out? This kind of prevents that from happening. So I get a little lighter towards the tail, but this area I definitely laid out. And feel free to blend this out more if you want. I'm just about to do my makeup, so this doesn't really bother me because I know I'm going in with foundation and all that type of stuff. But if you're just doing your brows, you can definitely blend this out or use a concealer that's closer to your skin tone so it won't look as obvious that you snatched your brows and you clean them up with concealer. So guys, this is the finished look. This is with my brows, makeup, everything done. I hope you did take something away from this video. When I first learned that getting my eyebrows done and plucking my eyebrows and waxing them and things like that was against my faith, I kind of panicked and I kind of felt like, well, kind of hopeless as far as I wanted to have nice brows, but I also didn't want to just ignore what I now knew was, you know, something that I wasn't permitted to do. And for the most part, I feel like a lot of women in my situation would just ignore it and just keep on going because there isn't another option. So I wanted to give you guys an option on how you can still have snatched brows and not really feel like you're in conflict with any personal beliefs you may have, or maybe it's a money issue, or maybe you just don't feel like it, or you don't trust people with your brows. You can definitely do your brows on your own with minimal products. Again, I only use a spoolie, 2 angled brushes, and a concealer and a brow product. So just for those of you out there that may be struggling with your brows, keep practicing. If you do like putting on brow products and really snatching it, I feel like a lot of it is based on your concealer and how well you can clean up your brow. Be patient with yourself and just take your time. And I heard this from Makeup Shayla, that your eyebrows are sisters, not twins. So don't feel discouraged if they aren't exactly identical. Chances are your brows, even without makeup on them, are not identical. So just make them look as best as you can, and never really compromise what you believe in or your personal preferences for something that is all vanity. So I thank you guys for watching this video. If you like videos like this that sort of focus on one part of the face, then let me know and I can come up with some other videos to do targeting maybe covering up hyperpigmentation or acne scars, or I don't know, how to highlight and contour. You guys let me know what you guys want to see. Of course, I always want to make sure you guys are interested in my content. Thank you again for watching, and I hope I see you in my next video. Bye.